And this turning point deals with the new generation of technology, which is cheaper, easier, faster, more sustainable, I think. But beyond that, GIS in this environment turns into a platform for an entire organization. It doesn't leave GIS professionals out. We're still right here, right? They are interacting with and using for their own selfish reasons cloud computing as a cheaper, more effective platform. These clouds can be both on-premise or in the open cloud. It doesn't really matter. What happens with data that's put into this cloud environment is that everybody else can have access to it. This is the sort of, if you ask me, why did Google Earth be something all of a sudden? It's cloud-based, and it's easy, and it's accessible, 7 by 24 on any device. This is what's happening with GIS. And that means knowledge workers can look at the data and use it, and executives can look at their little dashboards because they're being fed by the same transactional data, the operational data, accounting data that is being managed by the GIS professionals. But also they can give data back. They can create maps. They can drag spreadsheets, put them on a map, put them into the database, and everybody else can see them. And so can citizens. And they work anywhere. And unlike the millions of dollars that have been spent on doing enterprise integration of GIS with everything else, this is easy because you're using standard SOAS web services kinds of connections. So what we struggled with and spent a hell of a lot of money on, frankly, in the past, suddenly lightens up and becomes easy, much easier. When that occurs, it means everyone can play. You get it? This platform, a cloud GIS platform, is leveraging lots of other things. First off, GIS, the software tools themselves, are getting more powerful and much easier to use and available on multiple devices, mobile devices. That's one thing. GIS itself is also becoming real-time. The thing that got Will most interested was the sort of location services of real-time. I'm traveling around, people will know where I'm at. I'll be able to notify my fans. And that's a little simple example. Think of what that means for your own organization or cities. Everything's not only going to be measured, but it's going to be measured in real time and served up into these cloud environments. And we're seeing the evidence of that now. And these other trends of more measurement with very large databases, with platforms that continue to exponentiate in performance and parallelism and distributed device and the new world of apps, everything's an app. It changes everything. And all of this is converging with science evolution itself. The scientific world is becoming more quantitative, it's becoming more modeling oriented. We're moving to big science, whatever that means. Data mining, analytics. So we have colleagues in other spaces. And these will be leveraged in these platforms. This is going to let us reimagine GIS, what it really is, and that's the heart of my talk. You will change. Who you serve will change. Your responsibilities will change. So what's new? That's been going on for a long time. That's one of my points. URISA will change. What's new? That's been going on for a long time. That's my point. You don't have to fear this. You have to get into it. And what it means is integrating geographic knowledge, the language that you guys create, the stories that you make, the analytics that you support, into everything. Every footprint. I mean, if we have a chance of making it as a species, we've got to do that. We've got to bring all that understanding into the way we behave. And we're seeing the vestiges of it now, the glimmer of it, that people are becoming spatially aware. But imagine that we would integrate geodesign concepts into everything. Better not step there because it's going to kill something. Or better not locate here because it means something on all was talking about, all the social implications, all the costs of externalities that we fail to measure now will be in the future, I believe, geo-accounted for. We'll have geo-accounting. We'll have accounting that allows us to account for everything that really matters to us, as well as geodesign. That's where this is going. And this is not a dreaming thing. This is happening right underneath our feet now. It means that traditional desktop and server stuff gets integrated in the cloud, and the information becomes available pervasively through devices. Geography, computational geography, becomes a platform. You know what a platform is? That's when you really make it in the valley. Oh, it's a platform. Geography as a science is becoming a platform and is going to become pervasive. This cloud environment integrates any type of geospatial information. Social media, we've seen little examples of that already. Maps, data, real-time measurements, sensor networks, big data get spatialized with web services, and web maps are the new medium. Web maps make this information available in very simple form on any device. So what is a web map? It's actually the composition, the integration or mashing up or access to distributed services. So people are serverizing their data. It's a new term that I invented, because I couldn't find one. Turning geospatial data into services. They're registering these services in catalogs, not Google catalog or Bing catalog where you don't find relevant data. No, in catalogs that are easy to discover what you want. And those web maps are accessible from anything. Any device. They can be embedded in social media. You can drag and drop, put them into blogs, put them onto a website. Imagine the implication of that. And what can you do with this web map? Is it just a little web map? No. I can pan and zoom like I do with the Google Map sort of thing, but also there's analytics that can be built into the distributed services. I can look at them temporally, like some of these examples animations show. I can edit the web map, and it goes back and edits the server, the transactional data, if it's allowed. So this new medium of a web map replaces or is the next step beyond or is additive to, depending upon the way you think of it, to the traditional SQL database. This is something beyond that. It's a new medium. I don't know exactly how to describe it, but I can tell you in one example implementation of this, in this ArcGIS Online, we're now making 90 million maps a day, and we've only been doing it for 11 weeks. Isn't that interesting? It's just like this. It's a long tail. And it's a hockey stick. This is a new medium. This is like Facebook for geography. People are sharing and then using each other's data. And this is enabling new experiences, not the desktop experience. Well, that's useful and important. This is a whole different experience. I can look at a web map, which requires no UI. It's kind of like no GIS, circle, like no SQL, no SQL. This is no GIS. I publish a web map, it comes up on my device, and I can play with any device. Same web map. I look at my email from any device, like you guys do. This is looking at my GIS from any device, anytime, anywhere. And this is a little example of a template for a dashboard. I'm looking at what's going up, what's going down in my city. Mayors will want that. They'll download a template, they'll pour their services behind it, they'll publish it, make it available to who they want to, and on and on and on. Some of these will be consumer-oriented. Well, I am once a consumer-oriented thing for his music. Where am I? Where's my music? So if you Google I am, he owns all that stuff. I am here, I am Jack, right? And so his whole idea is to integrate his own soul into the geography and use it as a basis for integration of all social media experiences and all the authoritative sources as well. So this is a new medium, and as GIS professionals, we could say, no, that's something else. No, this is yours. That's the point. And the experiences that we're seeing, like in Utah, is it breaks down the barriers between different disciplines and different groups. Different workflows start to collaborate in new ways. In the old days, instead of this cloud thing, there might have been a database CAM there, right? That was the 80s or the 90s. Now it's web maps. And web maps are much more agile. This actually accomplishes the very vision that we had decades ago of integrating the different departments. But it's done in a way that I had never anticipated. So, I think of this as geography as a platform, and I think it's going to open it up. It's going to open up your world, the GIS world, in your organization to everybody else. And there's some enabling tools that are doing it. There's also going to be new use patterns, because there's going to be a whole lot more people to serve and create cool maps for, maps that tell stories. And there'll be the implication is there'll be a new generation of collaboration and sharing. This won't happen, oddly enough, what I'm realizing now is this won't happen by a lot of work. It's just happening naturally that people want to get on board. The director of planning in Utah got up and spoke at our users conference. He said, this is funny, because I used to go around all the different departments and I'd beg them for the data and I'd sort of be reluctant and didn't want to cooperate. Now everybody's coming to his office saying, hey, how do I get into this thing? And so it's just an interesting experience. Cloud integrates existing GIS into it. It isn't separate from traditional enterprise systems. So traditional servers are integrated, traditional desktops are integrated, and then there's this whole other world. It's open, so it supports all the standards, so anybody can participate and play and serve. So it's a model for organizations, like let's get our own organization together like a city, but it's also beginning to become a platform between organizations like cities and counties, or utilities and counties, or between states and feds. My God, can you imagine? It's actually starting to work. Organizations, hundreds of them, have embraced this pattern already. The UN with all their environmental data, and the Europeans with their Eye on Earth environmental data, both put their data into the cloud. Oddly, they're starting to use each other's data, because they use each other's data as if it's their own. They can match it up, combine it. Isn't that cool? Cities with federal agencies, they can mash up their data easily, make new maps, It's just a very different experience than anything I've ever seen. Everything before has always been hard, because we have to agree on a data model, and we have to share the data and enter into some officialdom or something like that. This is different. This is a pattern, like I say, it's just skyrocketing. There's now about 780,000 maps that are stored in the system in 11 weeks. That's phenomenal. What does it actually provide? It, of course, does the integration that we've been talking about, but it also provides us a new way for content management and intuitive mapping, so we don't have to rely on consumer mapping technology. No, we have simple tools that open up the same data set. It means sharing and collaboration and web and mobile apps that are free, and anybody can make them, and it's cool. So let me conclude with a couple of remarks. This is one example of a new generation of technology. This won't be a tenfold increase, it will be hundreds of folds of increase in user participation across organizations, between organizations. We will see the magic of geography come together and supported and accessed by billions. thinking. Hundreds of millions at least. Why can't it be everyone? It should be everyone. And I believe it will be everyone. This will support new visions like geodesign. I've already talked about that. More integration of geography into analytics, business analytics, integration of geography into policy initiatives. We really wished, well, it's starting to happen. Place-based approaches will be able to be supported easily, not awkwardly. Citizen engagement, citizen science, open government, all of these things that I know many of you care about become much easier when the stuff is free, open, accessible. So this platform, my assertion is, will leverage our collective data, our collective models, our collective knowledge. And what does it mean for you? Any of you afraid of this? No. Well, I was a little bit in the beginning. But I'm getting over it as I'm seeing that this pattern actually extends the reach of GIS professionals. It extends and leverages the information sets that you're creating. It integrates in other kinds of data in a safe environment. It is self-documenting, so metadata is there. It's all the little things that we have been concerned about. So at this point in my life, I'm pretty excited about it. I'm also really interested in making this happen because of the way the planet really is. That's my main concern. Well, the technology is evolving. It's certainly not enough. Just like Bruce said, data is not enough. Data and the technology are not enough. And this is a point about URISA. I strongly believe in what URISA has done for us collectively. It's been a safe place for us to interact and share even goofy stuff like my early drawings. And be okay about it and get peer review, not, frozen out. It's been a discussion over the years between you and among you, and that has told us about how to manage these systems, how to organize them. We were able to share our experiences, real experiences, not non-experienced experiences, but real experiences, and really gain from that and learn from it. We've learned how to frame the questions about data policies. It hasn't resolved it, but it's been an open debate and discussions. Charge or not charge, share or not share. What does it mean for security or not? It's been an environment where we learned, like Pete Croswell has developed a methodology for planning these systems. And the discussion about what standards we use. There's no right way or wrong way, I think. It should be open and evolving because the technology is changing. And how we implement it. I tried this, it didn't work. I tried to organize my organization, this didn't work. This did work. And not be ashamed of it or so proud that I have to. In other words, I can come here not understanding and get a lot out of it. In normal academic peer review, I have to understand, or I'm a fool, or I keep shut up. Here I can be, it's okay to not understand. And then we make real progress. And also it's been a place where we could grow people, good people, who have a collaboration set of values, a spirit of sharing, and having fun. This is good too. I didn't have enough fun last night, but I don't bowl, so there you go. I can tell you some of the parties were a lot of fun. In the spirit of fun, you learn. And in the spirit of good relations with others, you actually learn. I learned from my best friends. I learned from, some charlatans at times too, but this is still anyway, that's URISA. And so I have my own little portfolio of photos of my URISA things. I keep them. I don't do Facebook or anything, but there you go. So, thanks very much.